So making your way to your comfortable seat, that means you could be sitting cross-legged, you could be sitting on something for a little bit of a lift. I don't think we'll need too many props today for our practice, but if you know that you like to have a block or a pillow or a blanket around, it might be nice. So I'm gonna sit cross-legged here. I might even kind of sway a little bit side to side, maybe even give a little shake of my hands and kind of release any excess energy. And then when you feel ready, maybe bringing the hands somewhere of comfort to your body. So it's kind of in my practice to ground my hands, maybe one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart space. Or the other day, my shoulders were feeling really tense, so I actually brought one hand to a shoulder, feeling that warmth and connection as I invite my eyes to get a little bit heavier, or maybe my eyes close. So with each moment, body settles a little bit more. Awareness kind of spirals inward, away from what you've already been doing today or any plans for the rest of the day. And inviting a bit of presence into this moment, feeling the parts of your body that are touching down underneath you. Maybe noticing the texture of that space underneath you, whether it's carpet or grass or your mat. And I'm going to invite you to begin to find a deeper breath. Really taking up space with each inhale and inviting a sense of letting go with every exhale. So before we begin, I want to share a little quote from an author named Pico Iyer, and they said, "In an age of acceleration, nothing can be more exhilarating than going slow. And in an age of distraction, nothing is so luxurious as paying attention. And in an age of constant movement, nothing is so urgent as finding some stillness." So can this practice for this short time together be an opportunity for you to slow down, to pay attention, and to find your breath in moments of stillness, in different shapes, grounding there. Let's take one collective breath all together wherever we are, exhaling completely. Deep breath in. Maybe let it out with a H-A, ha. Ha. Hands can drop down by your sides. Seat, you can grow a little bit taller. We're going to move a little bit into the neck and shoulders. So with my hands by my sides, I'm going to inhale, sitting tall. And then exhale, invite my right ear towards my right shoulder. As I stay here for a couple of breaths, I can rock a little bit through the head if that feels better. Maybe lift and lower the chin. Softening my shoulder away from my ear, feeling the grounding of my seat. And then with an inhale, putting my head back on straight. And then this time, my chin moves towards my chest as I exhale, dropping the gaze down. So it's up to you to find a few moments of breath and stillness, or you can turn the head a little bit side to side. Let the shoulders soften, feel the fingertips on the floor. Deep breath. And then on your next inhale, inviting that chin up, head back on straight. Exhale, last side, left ear towards the left shoulder. Inviting movement or noticing stillness as you breathe. And then inhale, please put your head back on straight. And extending your legs out in front of you, finding Dandasana or a staff pose. So my feet about hip distance apart, using my belly to hold my spine up nice and tall. Hands can come by your sides, they can come behind you if you need a little bit of support. I'm gonna look to my feet and I'm gonna begin to roll my ankles. So as I'm rolling my ankles, I feel a bit of engagement through my legs. My belly stays strong to support a tall spine. And change directions. So super big circles in the ankles as much as you can, rolling into the joints to help wake up the feet. And for the last few moments, any other movement through the feet that you want to, maybe pointing or flexing, spreading the toes. And you might, if you feel stable in the spine, invite the hands to join the party and you take the hands out and you roll through the wrists. But notice that I'm not collapsing and rounding. I'm really keeping the heart lifted. Another breath. Really free, intuitive movement here. And then letting that go. Maybe hands come to the thighs. Take a breath in stillness here. And then over the next few breaths, maybe crossing the ankles or feet to the side to take yourself forward into your child's pose. Tops of the feet can greet the mat, knees can come wide, pelvis sinks back towards the heels, and spine lengthens as the forehead softens down. Up to you, arms can be really active, reaching forward towards the front of your space. You could also bend the elbows, soften fingertips, feel that nice softness around the shoulders as everything drops down with gravity. Finding a couple of deep breaths here, maybe a gentle sway through the hips. And then if your arms are a little bit more passive, I'll invite you to find a bit more length, reaching fingertips forward. Maybe even feel the elbows lift off the floor. And then shifting yourself forward through tabletop. Knees can come a little bit closer together. And then coming all the way down to your belly. You can stack your hands and rest your head like a little pillow. Bending your knees and dropping your feet from side to side. Nice windshield wiper action for the hips. And then feel the legs lengthen back behind you. Ground the tops of the feet down. And then plant your hands by your sides. Spread your fingers. Roll your shoulders back. Hug your elbows in. Ground through the pelvis and the feet. Inhale, rise up with the heart, cobra pose. Pausing at the top, heart forward, neck nice and long. And then exhale, take it back down. Couple more times. Inhale, rising up with the heart, pressing the mat away with the feet and the hands. And then exhale, down you go. And this time we're going to transition. Inhale, cobra pose, shoulders away from ears. And then tuck your toes, send your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Maybe walk your hands forward, dropping the head heavy between the arms. First down dog of the practice, let it be a curious shape. So finding a bit of movement, exploring the sensation here. Letting the breath be really free. And then on your next inhale, can you lift your heels, shift your weight forward, come into a plank pose. Option to stay here, or maybe for a moment, hover your right leg off the floor. Set it down, downward facing dog, take it back. Inhale, heels high, rock forward to your plank pose. Hold here nice and strong, or left leg to a hover. Left foot settles down, knees come down. Maybe find a couple of cat and cows. Inhale, heart to the sky, belly down, gaze is forward. Exhale, round, and maybe gaze back. One more, inhale, lifting the heart, maybe shoulders back. Exhale, navel to spine, round the upper back. And then from here, popping up onto your fingertips, sending your right leg back behind you, toes point down to the floor. And then I'm gonna externally rotate my right hip. I'm gonna turn my right toes out to the right. And then as slowly as I can, I'm gonna swing my right leg out to the right, the right, the right, the right, the right, and then settle that foot down to the floor. Walking my hands back, rising up to stand. So from a different view, right foot is out to the right, left hip over the left knee. The right foot can be down. You could also turn the toes to the sky. We're gonna take the right hand down the right leg, finding a side bend, left arm up, and then left arm over the ear. You can look up or down, whatever feels better for your neck. Really active through left fingertips. And then inhale, rise up. A little different shape here. We're gonna keep the leg nice and long, maybe turn the toes down towards the floor. And then I'm gonna sink my hips back, walk my hands forward. So I'm coming into kind of a half child's pose. So the hips sink back towards the heels. My arms are nice and active, but I might be feeling a nice stretch in that inner right thigh. If it feels like a bit too much, bend the knee a little bit, back out of the sinking of the hips. Take another breath. And then looking forward, walking it forward. I'll turn back on my mat. We're gonna take that right foot back to where we started, reaching it behind us. And then finally, if you'd like to bend that knee and circle that right knee around a few times. Whew. Maybe even kind of shake the leg out, let it go. Good, let's try the second side. So I like to be up on my fingertips or even blocks or books for a little bit more space. I'm going to extend my left leg back behind me. First, I'm gonna point the toes down to the floor, feel that hamstring and glute engagement, and then turn the left toes to the left. Use my belly and my outer left hip to slowly swing that left leg out to the left, and then set it down. Walking the hands back towards the knees, rising up to stand, setting up for our gate pose. Left hand to the left leg, right arm up, and over to the side. So it's up to you with the variation on the foot. Foot can be planted, toes can be lifted. Keeping a softness in that left knee, rooting down to rise up and over. One more breath. And then use the belly nice and slow. Take the upper body tall. And from here, we're going to sink back towards that half child's pose. So my left toes might turn down to the floor. My back toes can be tucked or untucked. Sinking pelvis back, lengthening arms forward, and maybe dropping the head down. This side might feel very different. You can always add more sensation, sink deeper. You can always back off. Last breath in this shape. And then in your own time, looking forward, Noticing how it feels to now come forward. And then our last little movement, we're gonna, with control, take that left leg back to where we started. And then finally, maybe bend the knee and circle around a few times. Noticing the heat that you've generated. Noticing your thoughts about those shapes. And then over the next little while, maybe a shakeout. And then downward facing dog. Spread the fingers, tuck the toes like those shapes never happened. On to the next thing. Let the head relax between the arms. Feel the back of the neck lengthen. And then from here, we're gonna look up to the hands. Bring a bend into the knees, and like you're trying to be really quiet in the middle of the night and you want to get a snack, but you don't want anyone to wake up. I want you to keep your hands planted as best you can and start to tiptoe towards your hands. Nice and slow. And as you do, think hips up, hips up, hips up. And eventually you'll be like, cat, I can't go any farther than that. Then you can change the hands and make your way to the top of your mat to find a forward fold. Let it go. First forward bend of the practice. Notice how sensation might come alive now in the backs of the legs. As much as you're pressing down into the feet, can you soften through the jaw? And then when you're ready, bring your hands to your hips. Point your elbows back to the sky, root into your feet, and with a long spine, inhale, rise all the way up to stand. With your hands still on your hips, roll the shoulders back, point the elbows back. Maybe a softness in the knees as you inhale, lift the heart up and look up, gentle back bend. And then exhale, arms by your sides, softening the gaze. Let everything slow down as you take a couple of breaths. Inhale, reach to the sky, please. And then with your exhale, forward fold, down you go. Finding a halfway lift, so lengthening the spine long, hands can come to the legs, shoulders away from the ears. And then exhale, bend into the knees, fingertips can come down, so bend your knees as much as you need to. Left foot stays forward, right foot steps way back. We're gonna spin the right foot to the floor and take our time to rise up towards our warrior two. So my arms are gonna reach long, parallel to the floor. And my foot is kind of in the shape that it was earlier when we were working into those inner thighs, sinking back towards our child's pose. Gazing softly at your front fingertips. Really channel your inner strength as you settle in here in this stillness, in this strength. Couple more breaths. If you can, keep your legs as they are. Flip your front palm to the sky. And then inhale, lean the body back. Right hand can settle on the back leg. Left arm reaches up towards that left ear. Staying here, or if you have a variation, you can bring your right hand to your belly. You could hold on to the left wrist with the right hand. I know the legs are working really hard. Slowly start to straighten your front leg and bring your arms down by your sides. Turning the left toes in. So now your feet are nice and wide and parallel to each other. We're gonna come into a forward fold, but then we're gonna make it really intuitive and kind of open up some space with your own breath. So as you ground into the feet, hands can come to hips, inhale, tall spine. And then exhale, take your time, begin to tip forward. When you feel like you've reached an edge, pause there. And then maybe the hands come down the legs, or Fingertips can come to the floor. And then can you sway a little bit in the upper body? So you might bend into one knee as you lengthen the other. And then you have a few more breaths to do whatever you want here. You can find a bit of stillness. You can find a bit of sway and movement, bending into the knees, finding space in the spine. You might even close your eyes to get out of your head a little bit, get into your body. And then when you're ready, hands are gonna come back to center or to the legs, ground into the feet, and then use your core, bring your hands to your hips. On your inhale, come all the way up, take your time. Maybe take a moment to pause. Let the shoulders soften away from ears. And then moving into warrior two on our second side. Left foot is gonna stay rooted down. Right knee is gonna turn to the back of the mat, right toes to the back of the mat. Bending deeply into that front knee, inviting the knee to stack over the ankle. Hips and shoulders nice and stacked, and then reaching arms away from each other. Virabhadrasana 2, warrior 2, settle in. Find that balance of feet grounding, spine lifting, shoulders softening. And then keeping the legs, trusting the strength there. Front palm flips up to the sky. Inhale, take it back, reverse it. Without losing the bend in that front knee, right? That's the work. Pressing into the outer edge of that back foot as well. Left hand could come to belly or to the wrist of the right hand. How are you doing? Okay, slowly straighten that front leg. Release the arms down. We're gonna step to the back of the mat. So left foot towards the right foot. Feet a comfortable distance apart. Shoulders roll back away from the ears. And then from here, arms can come to the sides. As you inhale, turn the palms up, open the chest. And then exhale, internally rotate the shoulders, so thumbs down and back, drop the chest, maybe gaze to the navel. One more time, inhale, palms up, pinkies up, chest up. Exhale, thumbs down and back, round. And gently rise. Take a breath. And then from the back of your mat, release your arms by your sides, a little bend in your knees, chin to chest, rolling yourself slowly down. So it's okay if the spine rounds, navel pulls into spine, keep bending into your knees, until you feel your fingertips towards the floor. And then somehow we're gonna make it down to our butt. So you can make your way down in your own way, or if you're still here with me, bend into your knees so much you feel your chest meet your thighs. Maybe reach your arms forward, and then slowly take yourself down. Oh, yeah. And the great thing is, you look so small, I can't really see you, that I'm sure that was perfect. And then from here, scooting a little bit forward on your mat, come all the way down to your back. Okay. So we're gonna have the knees bent and plant the feet on the floor. Keep the left foot where it is and bend your right knee in towards your chest. And then invite that right leg to reach up tall towards the ceiling. So already maybe feeling a bit of space in the back of that right leg. We're gonna stay here for a little while, and I'm gonna give you lots of options. So maybe hands to the belly, left knee bent, right leg up. Maybe hands around that right leg somewhere. Maybe left leg extends long to the floor. Left toes to the sky. Wherever you are, can you relax your head down, soften your shoulders, making choices to support your breath in this shape. One more inhale and exhale. And then a little bit of fire before we find a twist. You can keep the knee bent, you can have it lengthened still. I'm going to reach my arms up to frame that right leg. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale, can I curl my head and my chest up? Almost like I want to kiss my knee. If your left leg is extended, you might hover it for 3, for 2, and then 1. Both knees bend in towards your chest. Let it go. We're going to find a gentle twist. Knees can stay bent, feet come to the floor. Arms out to the sides. And then the knees can fall over to the left. So you can bend your knees as much as you'd like to. If you prefer to extend the bottom leg, that's also a variation that could support your breath here. Wherever you are, feel the heaviness of your head. Inviting a few deep breaths into the space of your rib cage, so right around there. Staying there if you need more time. Otherwise, we're going to come into the second side. So turning back to center, knees bend, feet on the floor. And then left knee bends in towards the chest. Left leg then reaches up towards the sky. Knee can be bent to support the hamstring. And then you settle in. You soften your eyes a bit. You can bring hands to belly, hands to the leg. You can extend the right leg. But that might be a bit too much for today, and that's fine. Feel the heaviness of the pelvis, the tailbone rooting down as the left leg extends taller with each breath. And then last option, with the right knee bent or straight, arms come out to frame that front foot. I take an inhale and then exhale, lift the head, lift the chest, invite the chest towards that thigh. Active fingers, active toes, soft face for 3, for 2, and mindfully bring it down, knees to chest, rock it out, let it go. And then setting up for your twist on the last side, knees can stay bent, feet can come to the floor, arms nice and wide. Then the knees fall over to the right, however much they want to. Left shoulder softens away from the right knees. Gaze can get a little bit heavier. Fingertips can soften. Breath can find a bit more space. And when you're ready, slowly, knees come back to center. Any other little movement that you're craving. And when you're ready, start to extend your way into your Shavasana, into your place of rest. creating a position and shape in your body that allows for a lot of ease, no gripping, nothing to control or hold on to. Feeling the softness of the physical body begin to drop down. As the body drops down, the eyes might drop a bit heavier into their sockets. If it would support you to keep your eyes open, you absolutely can. Any shape that supports exactly where you are today. And then if you'd like to join me, exhale all your air out. Taking a deep breath in. And then H-A, ha, ha. One more time, inhale. Letting it go, H-A, ha. Releasing your breath, softening your body. Taking a well-deserved rest. And then when you're ready, maybe beginning to let your senses open. Ears to hearing the sounds around you. The touch of the air on your skin. The temperature there. Let your awareness move to the sensation and the movement of your breath. And maybe making that breath a little bit deeper as you begin to invite gentle movements to your body. Spreading the fingers, wiggling the toes. Maybe hands come to the space of the heart. Head can rock from side to side. And then taking really good care of yourself, to not rush yourself out of this rest. When you're ready, beginning to make your way over to your side. And then gently rising up, finding your way back to a comfortable seat with a really tall spine, softness across the face, breath nice and free. When you get there, maybe the hands come to the space of your heart, palm meeting palm there at the chest. A gesture of offering that we use the benefits of this practice to serve and support all beings, to take care of ourselves and to take rest as much as we need. I bow to the teacher in each of you for your breath and for your practice today. Take care of yourselves. Thank you so much.